We want the 2021 first pick as well. Spurs say, of course, here, have it.
Sure.
Probably not in those words, but they definitely give him another first-round pick to take on LeBron James and to keep Kawhi Leonard. Like we said, LaMarcus Aldridge is there. So it would be really fun to see how this team develops and how they play together.
Yeah. I will say this. I think the Cavs have Colin Sexton. That's why they might consider keeping taking Lonnie Walker instead of DeJounte Murray. But that's, whatever. I don't think that's the important part there. Okay, and the last one we had is kind of just like a fun one. Is just discussing about LeBron going back to South Beach.
A reunion!
Teaming up with Dwayne Wade. We all know he loved being in Miami. I mean, it's probably a great place to live. So he goes back for the end. It's Hassan Whiteside and Justin Winslow and, a pick.
Whatever amount of picks, same thing.
Are sent to Cleveland. Cleveland does it because, they get that terrible Hassan Whiteside contract, but it's going to expire eventually. And you get Justice Winslow, who a lot of people were pretty high on. He hasn't gotten to that point where we thought he would, but, he's only in his fourth year. This is going to be only his fourth year in the league. He still has plenty of time to improve. He can pull a Victor Oladipo, become a real good player, or even, 80% of the player Oladipo is now, which is still going to be a really good player.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Again, this is, like we said, for fun, because I'm not a big fan of LeBron James going back to Miami. They don't have enough there. Now, with this trade proposal, I would probably, if I'm Cleveland, instead of taking on Whiteside, I ask for Tyler Johnson, whose contract is terrible, but I think he's a better fit in the modern NBA. His contract's a little lower, and he's younger. You probably have to take on maybe one more. Yeah, you probably take on another one. I don't know, Kelly Olynyk's there. Who knows who else? They have a pretty...
It gets a little bit tricky because Kelly Olynyk's making a lot of money.
Yeah, and you'd make it work. I think they'd be able to figure out a way to make it work somehow. And if not, you take on Hassan Whiteside. It's like we said, I don't know if I'd like LeBron James going back to Miami playing alongside Dragic. They don't have cap flexibility, and they don't have much outside of Dragic. And Dragic, he's been a borderline all-star in the past, but really they don't have much to offer with their internal roster and cap flexibility. So it would really have to be LeBron James deciding like, I just loved it in Miami so much, I want to go back. Really not valuing winning over his fit there. And he wouldn't be valuing winning as much as he would be with other teams. So really not a fan of it, but it'd just be something, just another proposal we're throwing out there.
So I just checked NBA rumors. There has nothing been news, so we are going to actually sign off now.
Well, I think I wanted to propose a couple more trades that the Cavaliers could make to help LeBron James stay in Cleveland. And I want to see what your opinion is on these two trades. One is one that's been thrown out there. It's Cavaliers trading J.R. Smith, Clarkson, Colin Sexton, and Ante Zizic for Kemba Walker and Nicholas Batum contract, who has about 3 years and about $25 million a year on that contract left. And the second one is them trading away George Hill, Kyle Korver, C.D. Osman, and a couple of second rounders for Gallinari and Lou Williams. And let me explain why the Clippers would do this. Because Hill's and Korver's contracts, they are not guaranteed for 2019. Gallinari's is. Gallinari has 2 more years left on his contract, and for that reason, you're getting a lot more cap flexibility for that 2019 season, which I already talked about. They already have a lot of it, and they'd be getting a lot more by getting rid of Gallinari. Now, you have to throw in Lou Williams because of the fact that you're getting rid of Gallinari's contract, and you're getting those picks. You're getting C.D. Osman, who's a solid young player at best. But you're getting rid of Lou Williams, who also has 8 years over the next 3 seasons left on that contract. Now you're getting even more flexibility for that offseason. And you kind of have to you have to throw in an asset to Cleveland in order for them to take on Gallinari's contract. So Cleveland would be left with Kemba Walker, Lou Williams, Gallinari, and Batum, who hopefully would have bounce-back seasons. And I think you're taking on a hell of a lot of money if you're those two players. But you are, again, Walker and Lou Williams, and also Batum and Gallinari, who are probably better players than J.R. Smith, George Hill. What do you think? Real quick.
If I'm LeBron James, and Paul George stays in Oklahoma, that whole Kawhi thing doesn't get figured out, I'd opt in my deal. I'd stay with Cleveland, especially if they made that trade for Kemba Walker and Nick Batum. I like Kemba Walker. I think he'd be a good fit with LeBron James. And I also like Nicholas Batum, who has a terrible contract, but he is actually a decent player, right? He's a 3-and-D guy. He's one of the OG 3-and-D guys, so you take him. You lose Jordan Clarkson. I mean, Colin Sexton, yeah, he's young, but you have to give up something to get Kemba Walker. You won't have J.R. Smith to make dumb plays at the end of the finals now. So this is a deal that, I like the team. I like an lineup of Kemba, Batum, LeBron, Tristan, and Kevin Love, or whoever other guard you want there. The other one, I'm always Danilo Gallinari. He gets hurt pretty easily.
Yeah, this is more about getting Lou Williams in return.
Yeah.
Who, a very solid bench player this offseason.
Sure.
And really a borderline all-star this past season.
Gallinari's a good player, too, when he's not hurt. So maybe he sits out the first 50 games and only plays the end in the playoffs. And that way you have him ready for the playoffs. And, hey, go for it, right? It's a pretty good team. Do I think that those teams are going to be better than the Golden State? No. But do I think that these trades improve the Cavs' chance to be able to compete with Boston? Yeah, I think they do. And I don't think if LeBron was to opt in right now and Boston has a healthy Kyrie and Hayward and, the Sixers get better, it's going to be a lot more harder for Cleveland to be successful. So these trades do actually help them out. And if you're Cleveland, you've been taking risks for LeBron for the past few years. You do it again if it means he opts back in.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you then, folks.
So please make sure to follow us on Twitter, like our Facebook page. We're also on iTunes now, so you can subscribe us on there. We're going to be on Spotify soon. So please be checking. Please, again, make sure if you want to DM us on Twitter. We're going to have an Instagram page soon. Let us know what you want us to discuss, what trades you want us to consider, what teams you might want us to focus on our players. If you have any criticisms, questions, please email us and reach out to you in any way you can.
And what handle can they follow us on Twitter?
At NBA Trade Zone, trades with an S and then zone, all one word. Same for the Facebook page, NBA Trades Zone, separated.
Separated, correct.
And the Instagram will be coming out by our next podcast. We will let you know what our Instagram page is.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to us, and hope everyone has a great day.
And enjoy the fun NBA trades that will be coming up soon.